Imagine a world where every town, city, and village operates on its unique time. Confusing, right? That's how life was before the time zones. Ancient civilizations from the Sumerians to Egyptians observed the sun, moon, and stars tracking their movements to create primitive calendars. Sundials and water clocks were amongst the first tools to measure the time based on natural occurrences. Back in the day, people used local solar time, the time based on the position of the sun, so noon was simply when the sun was directly overhead. This made sense when people lived their lives with the boundaries of their local communities. But things got trickier when we entered the Industrial Revolution. This era brought about railways and steamships, suddenly making long-distance travel accessible and common. You can imagine the chaos. Missed trains, mixed-up meeting times, and widespread confusion. Each train station even had to keep a multitude of clocks for every city's local time it serviced. So, it was simply clear a new standardized way of measuring time was needed to keep up with the advancements in travel and industrial growth. And so, the quest for the time standardization was born, out of necessity, out of confusion, and ultimately for progress. Now, let's meet Sir Sandford Fleming, who played a crucial role in standardizing our understanding of time. Born in Kirkcaldy, Scotland in 1827, Fleming immigrated to Canada in 1845 and became deeply involved in various engineering projects. It was during his work as a chief engineer for the Canadian Pacific Railway that Fleming experienced an inconvenience and disruption caused by the lack of standardized time. Inspired by his frustration at missing trains due to inconsistent local times, Fleming envisioned a solution that would synchronize time across the globe. So, in the late 1870s, he proposed a revolutionary concept, which was a universal standard time, which led to the creation of 24 time zones, with each zone representing a specific longitudinal segment. These segments would be 15 degrees wide, accounting for the Earth's 360-degree rotation in 24 hours. It was a simple yet profound vision. No matter where you are in the world, time could be standardized, harmonized, and coordinated. A universal standard time that would eliminate confusion and facilitate global coordination. Fleming's proposal gained recognition and support, leading to the convening of the International Meridian Conference in 1884. Delegates from 25 countries, including the powerful nations like United States, France, and Germany, participated in the conference. The goal was to establish a universal standard for timekeeping and determine the prime meridian, the reference point for all other time zones. During the conference, intense discussions and debates took place. Countries advocated for their preferred meridians, creating challenges in reaching a consensus. However, after careful deliberation, the Greenwich Meridian in London, with its prestigious Royal Observatory, emerged as the front runner. It had been a long-standing center for accurate astronomical observations and already enjoyed the widespread recognition. Ultimately, the Greenwich Meridian was chosen as the prime meridian, solidifying its role as the starting point for measuring time around the world. This decision laid the foundation for the creation of the 24 global time zones we rely on today. Now let's dive into the intriguing details of how the world was divided into 24 time zones. The rationale behind this division lies that the Earth rotates every 24 hours and there are 360 degrees of longitude. Each hour the Earth rotates 1/24th of a circle or 15 degrees of longitude. So Fleming's time zones were heralded as a brilliant solution to a chaotic problem worldwide. However, implementing this plan faced practical considerations and exceptions. One of the main challenges was aligning the time zones with the existing political and geographical boundaries. Some countries like India adopted time zones that deviated from their standard 15 degrees intervals to better suit their specific needs. Similarly, regions like Newfoundland in Canada and parts of Australia choose to create unique time zones to better reflect their local reality. Nevertheless, the benefits of coordinated time prevailed, and gradually countries worldwide recognized the advantages of synchronized time for trade, travel, and coordination. Additionally, the concept of daylight saving time was introduced. Daylight saving time (DST) is a practice that involves adjusting clocks forward by 1 hour during the summer months, typically in order to make the use of daylight. This concept was first proposed by Benjamin Franklin in 1784 as a way to conserve energy. The idea gained traction during World War I when several countries implemented DST to save fuel for the war effort. There are several perceived benefits to DST. One of the primary advantages is the potential energy savings, as longer evenings reduce the need for the artificial lighting. Additionally, DST is believed to promote outdoor activities, boost tourism, and enhance the overall quality of life during the warmer months. However, DST has also faced significant controversies. Critics argue that the time changing disrupts sleeping patterns, leading to health issues and decreased productivity. There are concerns about impact on agriculture, as farmers must adjust their schedules accordingly. The debate surrounding the daylight saving time continues, as policymakers and the public carefully weighs the pros and the cons of the practice. So now that we understand more about the history of the time zones, let's take a brief look at how they're used or not used in the modern times. Out of 195 countries in the world, 23 have at least 2 distinct time zones. The country with the most total time zones is France, with 12 time zones, taking into account their overseas territories, followed by Russia with 11, and the United States with 9 official and 2 unofficial time zones, including overseas research stations and territories. The Trans-Urban Railway is a fascinating example as it traverses through 10 distinct time zones over its 6-day journey. While most countries use hourly differentiated time zones, some countries like India, Iran, Afghanistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and certain regions of Australia utilize half-hour or quarter-hour time zones. Interestingly, large countries such as China and India, despite spanning numerous time zones, operate on a single time zone. China's single time zone, spanning 5 distinct time zones regions or 75 degrees of longitude, stands at the world's largest. Yet many locals follow unofficial time zones diverging from China's standard time. In conclusion, the creation of the world time zones had a profound impact on our global society. It has provided a framework for coordination and synchronization across the different regions. Today, time zones are essential for the international travel, communication, and functioning of our interconnected world. They remind us that the time is truly a universal language.